everyone, welcome back. So I have gone ahead now, and you saw I've cut all the papers and I've inked all the edges. A few papers I didn't cut. First of all, I'm going to say I'm sorry. I thought it'd be fun to put this layout together, and but there's a lot of people making a lot of noise outside. They're doing some kind of street work, so I guess I will just try this, and then if I need to do a voiceover, I can always do that. But I thought it would be kind of fun if we put it together. So this is their version. This is how they have it. They only have 4 photos, and they look like they are all 4x4 size. There's all the pieces there. I forgot to cut the white piece for the journaling, but it's possible that I may not do that until I might just type it up onto a white cardstock. It looks like theirs is typed up on a white cardstock also. So, but I have the pieces here. There's not a whole lot. I cut out the trees, but I did cut one extra tree out just because I thought it would help bring it around. And yeah, so this is, I'm not going to do the Explore. I think I'm going to do a different title. So this is kind of why I thought it would be a little bit fun to put it together with you guys. So I have 5 photos, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I have these 5 photos, and I thought what I would do, instead of having 2 here, I'm going to fill this whole section with the 3 photos and then have 2 over here. Whether or not I make them smaller, I have not figured that out yet, but so I think I will just start with the 3, and I'm going to leave the 3 on there that I put on here as a full 4x6. So I think I'm going to do it like that. And you can see that these mountains are here on this print, but they have covered that up with this big blue star piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. I hope everybody is having a super fun International Scrapbook Day. So here's my question for all of you guys while I'm gluing this down. I love International Scrapbook Day. My biggest mistake, no, it wasn't a mistake, but one thing for me, my anniversary is May 3rd, and so sometimes the weekend, since Scrapbook Day is always the first Saturday in May, it doesn't always line up. Sometimes it's actually my anniversary. No big deal. I probably would have planned. I wasn't a scrapbooker when I got married. So if I would have known, I probably would have planned that a little better and not gotten married the first weekend of May or May 3rd. But I'm not too worried about that. And of course it's a little short. I don't know how it's always short on me. I'm just going to trim that off a little. So, but putting that aside, my husband's usually pretty good. We don't, we have 3 kids, so going out of town or really celebrating every year is not realistic for us anyway. But we are going kayaking tomorrow, which is Friday. I'm putting this layout, or these layouts, hopefully all of them today, so I can have all these videos ready for you guys to go up. And now I'm going to put this here back to the layout real quick, and I am going to line it up with the photos because I don't really want the green stripe. Well, actually that doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. Yeah, I think I'm going to move it over just a little bit. As long as the mountains on the bottom are covered, I'm good. Okay, so I don't remember everything I was saying. However, my hardest part with International Scrapbook Day is how do you guys keep track of all the challenges and everything that's going on? I would love if you guys had any advice you can leave me below. I know there's YouTubers all over that do stuff. There's companies everywhere that do stuff. They do it on Facebook, they do it on Instagram, they do it on their blogs, they do it, and I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how to keep track of it all. I think that looks a little crooked, but I think it's the background paper. I don't think it's my paper. Might be a little crooked actually on my part, but I'm going to leave it because to pull that up would just ruin that paper. So leave me a comment below if you have a good way of keeping track of everything. I love Scrapbook Generations. I've mentioned their SG Scrap Squad online, and that's like, it's their Facebook page, but it's not necessarily just for the store. It's for everybody who wants to participate in all kinds of different online crops. And what they do is they give you till the end of May, or the end, like a good month to finish the challenges. Whereas I've noticed a lot of other ones, you've got to do it that day or that weekend, which is totally fine, totally great. But I kind of wonder how does everybody keep track of that? I'm going to go ahead and what I think I'm going to do, because, well, I haven't decided yet. This is a hard decision. I think I am going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to cut it to that size, which would be 4 by 9. And then maybe I can add strips above it. So for that, I'm just going to take a piece of scrap, or an 8.5 by 11, instead of cutting into the nice big piece of white cardstock. Again, my cutter is going to be a little noisy. Please forgive me for that. So yeah, so I know I have a few challenges I want to do, and even if you don't want to win prizes or stuff, I don't really mind about the prizes. It is fun to win, but to be honest, I'm not one of those people that wins very often. So I'm not going to worry about that for the most part right now. But I would love to know how all of you keep track of all the prizes and stuff. Do you just sit down and just go crazy on National Scrapbook Day? Or do you just collect everything and kind of stay online? That's the other thing, is a lot of them have things you gotta be online on occasion for. And if I'm scrapbooking, I don't like to get on my phone or anything like that, or any computer, anything like that, because it draws my attention away and I find it distracting, so I just don't like to do that. Okay, something I wanted to mention, I know a lot of people, somebody asked me if this part of my T-square ruler was flat. It is not. So my trick for using this cheap T-square ruler, if you want to line something up, let me get this piece of paper out, for example. If I wanted to put this strip down, say right here, instead of using the T-square ruler on the left-hand side of the paper where I'm trying to line this up because, you know, it goes underneath, I would take my T-square ruler and I will use it on the opposite side, because where it's not flat is really only right here. And along here, you can hold it down. It's still going to be straight, but then you have all this. It's not going to go in. I mean, it could if you pushed hard enough, but then you have a better chance of getting it straight, and you don't have to worry about that little lifted part right there. So that's just a little hint for you guys if you use T-square rulers and that little... It bugged me too, and I only started doing it the opposite way about... I don't know, within the last year sometime. So yeah, that's kind of a new thing to me. But I am going to go ahead, and what I think I'll do is I'm going to add all the elements here that I want to add, and I'm going to follow this fairly closely. We'll see. And then, oh, I forgot they also had a little black strip. So I'm going to actually really quick, did they put in a black? I thought maybe it was the dark gray. Let's look at the instructions here. If you look close, their photos are mounted not only on that gray triangle, but like on a thin blue or black. Let's look what it says. A dark charcoal cardstock, dark or light. So it's not black, it's gray, like a dark gray. Let me see. And this did come with the kit, by the way. So it's the dark or the light. And so what I'm going to do, because I know I'm going to use this elsewhere, I'm not going to worry about cutting off just a tiny piece. So, also my washing machine is going today, but I have to get laundry done. I am just going to cut off the littlest sliver, and I'm going to add it on there for a little bit of interest. Now, I could add it along the photos, or I could add it along... Oh, sorry. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off again. I'm a little out of it with everything today. I think what I'm going to do is cut another really tiny sliver. Instead of putting it along the photos, I'm going to put it on both sides of this little journaling block. And I didn't measure that other sliver. I just want like the tiniest little sliver. And I don't think I'm going to bother with inking these edges. So what I'm going to do to glue them down is I'm going to use this Lawn Fawn glue. I really like this. I'm not a fan of the bottles where you have to put the needle into the little tube. I think it's great, awesome if it works for people, but I just would sit there and I get mad. I like get mad when it takes too long to put it in. I went to a Stampin' Up! Card class the other day, and it took me forever to get it in there, and I'm like, oh! And it was the first time I've ever used one of those. So I'm just going to put like the teeniest, tiniest little, and there's barely even any glue coming out of this, but that's part of the reason I like this Lawn Fawn one is you get such a small amount, but the thing doesn't get clogged as easy. And you can probably hear my washing machine and dryer. I apologize for that too. So again, this cardstock is lighter on one side, darker on the other, and I want the darker side to show. So, oh, I better hurry before that glue dries. Wow. So I'm just gonna line it up along here, kind of like they had it. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get a little drink of water. What was I saying? I'm going to put the dark side of this up, and instead of putting it around the photos, I can't talk and do glue at the same time apparently. Instead of putting it along the photos, which was my first idea, I'm going to put it along this like journaling box, which I think helps the journaling box stand out a little bit, and I really like it. So just gluing that teeny tiny, I don't even know if that's 1/8 of an inch. Can't be much smaller than 1/8 of an inch. So I love these kits because they are really good for like taking to a crop or something, because the sizes are all there. You cut all your papers first, and then you put together your journaling, or I mean, excuse me, your pages, and it goes pretty quick. So I would think I was talking about this, and this being the journaling box. I think I went ahead and glued this down, and I inked the edges, and what I'm going to do is when I'm done with the video, I'm going to type up my journaling onto another white piece of cardstock and just add it on top of here without inking the edges. So it'll still be there, it'll still be typed journaling, or maybe even I'll handwrite it and put it with lines. We'll see. So they had this little piece, and this was from one of the manufacturer strips, and what they have it is they have it here like a little, I don't know, I consider that to be like a little piece of washi tape, and then a little bow tied out of this burlap ribbon, which I will do. So instead of having the edges straight, when I have a piece of paper I want to use like that, I'm not a fan of washi tape, you probably know. So, but I like the look of the torn edges almost like it is washi tape. So I tore the edges a little bit and still inked them. Did they actually? It looks like they might have done the same thing, and I didn't. From a distance it looks like it's just straight, but if you look close enough it does look like they tore it a little bit. Yeah, it says attach 1E, and it does say tear the ends a little bit. So, okay. Now here again, I want to put this down here at the top, and I want it to go straight. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if I do it on this side, it's not going to be as straight. But if I turn my little T-square ruler around and get it where I want it, then it goes on just a little bit better. And I'm not really worried about that piece being straight or centered. I was just using that more to show you guys. Now I'm going to take and make a little bow. It's not a bow, they just have a little knot, which I like the knot a little better. So I'll make a little knot with the ribbon. And I'm just going to do, this is neat ribbon because it stays together. Unless you pull, you can pull these pieces each apart, but it stays together pretty well. And I like to use my glue dots. These are glue dots, and these are glue dot dispensers. I've had some questions about these, and they're really great. You can pull some out and then squeeze right here, and that holds it down so you can rip it. And I don't care for the glue dot, what those little dispensers that you roll like a tape runner, like you would a tape runner. I had those, and I found those to be more annoying than anything, so I preferred, once they came out with these, I thought about getting some of these pink ones. I have a pink, I have 3, and I just used my labeler, mini, medium, and large, and I put them on there so I know which size glue dots to use. because I do use glue dots quite a bit. I find them to be very helpful. So sorry, I'm kind of rambling a lot doing this page, but that's okay. So now I really like how they have the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do my cluster the same as they have here. So I'm going to glue this tree. The only thing, oh, well, I was going to do one tree popped up on foam tape, but the wood tree is there. So I think I maybe won't do that. And let me get the moose. So the moose head is a sticker. Let me find the stickers. Here they are. Oh, well, it's a chipboard piece. And I love these. It's not super thick like chipboard you would maybe get from Echo Park or something. So it's thinner, but it's still really heavy duty quality. The only thing that drives me nuts is I'm one of those people that can't get or can't stand these little tick things from where you got to punch them out of the chipboard. So sometimes I got to cut those off. If I'm going to ink the edges and you can't really tell, then I don't always worry about them. But I'm going to get some of these off this time. And I thought about inking around this guy. I did the tree and everything else. I think that might make him look a little weird though, so I don't think I will. And he's just going to go flat. I'm just going to leave him flat on here. So I'm going to leave, oh, there's C. And also, by the way, for my edges, when I originally saw this kit, I thought I was going to go with brown ink for my ink edging. However, this time around, I chose my gray ink, which is what here? Gray wool, which I don't think they have gray wool anymore, which I'm kind of disappointed about, but that's okay. They got to change with the times. Only because it's a pretty color, but now I would have to buy more if I needed another gray, which I think I might end up having to do because I don't know if I have a re-inker. All right, now they have a tree to go in there, and I think I really like the way they have that cluster, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that too. So for wood veneer, there's different ways. I will say their wood veneer is super thick, so it's kind of nice. Wood veneer you can glue on with wet glue. You can use all kinds. You can use your ATG adhesive. Really anything works. Some wood veneer, this I wouldn't staple through, but some wood veneer is even thin enough to be stapled through. So I'm just going to add that there. Now they have a little triangle here, but because I have the 3 photos instead of the 2 photos with a little bit of space, I think that I'm not going to do anything there until we come to the end of the page. So I'm going to leave that for now. And for now, that is going to be my right page. And so I'm going to set that side. That can all glue. And I'm going to work on the left page. So I'm going to get this background back out. And here is the mountains that are printed on there already. Can you guys see this? I'm trying to, like I mentioned in the other video, everything is such a mess. So these, I do think maybe I will cut them down. I don't want the title Explore. So let me go with this here. So these are photos from when we went to Wallowa Lake. My very first process video, I believe, is from Wallowa Lake. These are when me and my husband and my daughter went on horse rides. My boys stayed with my mother, and she played these yard games that we took with them. Oops. I really have to, you know, I might spend National Scrapbook Day just cleaning up my scrapbook room because it is driving me crazy. It is so messy. Let me see what sizes. So I didn't pre-cut these because I wasn't sure how the photos were going to look, but they're 4.5 by 4.5, and those are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So this is the charcoal one that I did the tiny strip of. So we're going to do 4 1/8. I'm going to go, I want it to show up a little bit more. Here's about 4 1/8, I guess. I won't be too picky. So sorry again about my loud cutter. Let me know below if you like these videos today. Again, there will be a link to purchase any of this stuff. It's not It's not an affiliate link. It's my friend's link to her Close to My Heart page, but just in case you guys might want to purchase any of these. And if you do go and check out this stuff, I highly suggest you check out their May special. It is, especially if you have a lot of camping or outdoor or travel, what is it called? This is Into the Wild. This is this paper kit. They have, it is, the places you'll go, or oh gosh, I don't know, but it's this really, really neat, like, travel kit. And you can buy different ones. You can buy like a card making one. Do I have it behind me on the floor? Let me find out. The World is Yours. That's it. I got the scrapbooking kit, and me and my friend are going to get together and do it together because the scrapbooking kit is gorgeous. They even have I'll make sure I'm doing the dark side. They even have a kit, like instructions that you can download if you purchase the kit. And one of them is like this globe page, a huge page with a globe, and they turn it into a little bit of a shaker. Oh, it's so neat. I will definitely show you after I've made them. I just don't know when me and my friend will get together and if it will be sold out by then. So check that out if you like travel paper lines and things like that, because it's, like I said, it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I probably would have cut that a little bit bigger. It said because I cut it, I think, at 4 1/4, not 4 1/2. But that's okay. Just a little bit of gray showing. That's all we need. So I'm wondering about my title as I'm cutting this out. Should it be Cabin Games or Yard Games, or I don't know what I want it to be. But I love this layered photos. Or these layered photos, sorry. So I kind of like these. What do I want my title to say? Decisions. Games. Let's see what we have. Maybe a gray. Do you think a gray would be good? All my silver. Ooh, this might be cool. This is like a wood veneer type gray. Let's see, but I don't know what I have which letters I have. Maybe Cabin Games. Let's see. And maybe I'll put these straight. I was thinking that'd be kind of neat, either wonky, but with the rest of the elements, oh, you can't see that now. With the rest of the elements, it ripped. No, don't rip. My cutter was sitting on it. With these rest of these elements here, I think I'll just keep them straight, kind of like they have. So let's go for Cabin Games. So since I know I'm just going to go ahead and leave these straight, I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. And I'm going to use my T-square ruler, and I'm going to place mine just a little bit. Well, I was going to put them to the side, but maybe I will kind of center them. Actually, I'm just going to put them on there, and wherever they land is where they land. Does that sound good to you guys? Although I don't want them that high up, because they don't have theirs very high up off the mountain. So we'll go about there. Yeah, that works for me. Put them a little bit closer together. There we go. There. That's all that's going to be. And now we're going to see if we have the letters. And I'm going to start and I'm going to work backwards, just because I want it to end about here. Ooh, I have one E, of course. Great. Games. These are great little... Are these thickers? I think these are a type of thicker. They're chipboard. And they've got like the white wood grain going vertically on it, or horizontally, I mean. Do I have a G? Why would I be out of G? I never used the letter G. Oh, I'm out of G. So what can we make a G with? Maybe the B. Only because it kind of goes in like the G would. So if I cut this here on a curve, if this doesn't work, I will try. and I'm just rounding the corners where it's sharp so it looks more like a curved. I could do the C too. I might do the C if this doesn't work out, but I just thought this already has, cut that there. This already had the little line going in. I'm not sure I'm gonna like this. No, that looks horrible. So I have this little, no, I'm not even saving that. Okay, I have this little line from that I cut off, so I'm just cutting it in. It's sticking to my finger. And we'll add it to the C and see what happens. I can't believe I've used all the G's from this. All right, when we put that down, that looks a lot better than the B did. When we put that down, I'll work with it a little bit and make it look a little better too. So, cabin games. N, good, I have an N, and I'm getting more of my letters used up. I-N, B-I-N, then C and A. So at least I have all the letters other than the G, but we made it work. And I like this with the paper. I think it goes pretty well. So I'll throw these to the side along with all the other messes in my room. Actually, I'll just toss it on the floor. All right, so I'm going to take a minute to glue this down. Okay, I have that glued down, and now I just have to add a few things. Underneath there, the photo, they have this strip, and again, I tore the edge just off of one side of this one. And I'm going to put it here, just right along the photo. And then they have another little piece of this ribbon tied with a knot. And they have So Much Awesome, which is a sticker. And since I didn't use pop dots on anything on the right hand side, I am not going to worry about it on the left hand side here. So Much Awesome. And then I'm going to just take a little strip of this, tie a little knot. Doesn't really, well, I didn't want it centered. I do kind of want it down towards the end. All right, tighten that just a little bit. I don't want it so tight that it looks kind of funny. And then kind of measure where I want it to stop. So I want it to go about here to about maybe here. Not being too particular. A great way to glue this stuff down also is scrappy tape. You don't have to use scrappy tape, but it really does help hold it down. So I'm going to put it right along underneath that little strip of pattern paper. And then I think I'm also going to get a glue dot, just a mini one here, for underneath the knot, just to help hold it a little bit more. So just get that on there and glue that kind of underneath. And I'm not really worried about this fraying. It is fraying just a tiny bit, but once it's in the page protector, it won't fray anymore, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and now they have their little cluster here. But what I purposely did was I brought my, the starting, where you can see it's not lined up, or it is lined up with theirs, but it's not with my picture. So what I did, I purposely brought it over this way because this little cluster of trees that they have down here, I'm going to put up above there. That was my point for that. And again, here's these really cool trees that you kind of get a 2-for-1 out of. And I'm just going to put these down right here. I'm going to use my Tombow glue. I just always love my Tombow glue, so why not? Get some on there. This one's going to overlap the photo just a little bit, and I'm going to hold it down. This is pretty thick wood veneer I've mentioned, so then there is 2 little stars. There's also triangles on this side, but before I add anything else, I'm going to put the 2 pages together side by side just to see what I think would look good. So just a little bit of glue. And you know, when I'm gluing things, I have to be honest, it doesn't matter to me if I put a little too much and it seeps out the side a little bit. That just doesn't bother me very much. because usually it dries clear and nobody notices, and I'd rather that embellishment, oh yeah, this tree is going to take a few minutes to stay. I should have used glue dots. I'd rather that embellishment stayed in place than find it down here in the page protector years from now. You know what I mean? So I'm going to move those to the side. And oh, I forgot, I also cut this tree out to go behind them. Wonder if I could lift that up without causing, well, this one's coming up. This one's going to need more glue anyway. So I don't really want, I'm not sure about that. I'm going to add some more glue to this one though, because it's going to need, because it's not wanting to stay completely down because it's overlapping the photo a little bit, which is up on, you know, it's got the cardstock behind it, and then it has the other piece of patterned paper, so it's got a little bit of a lift. So I'm going to take my acrylic block, maybe a heavier one, and put it on there for a minute. Probably leave it on there for a few minutes while we work on the page. So I still have this tree, but I could also put it up here. And one thing that's really nice with these Close to My Heart kits is when you are done with the kits, there's usually plenty of stuff left over. You can either go back and re-embellish. You can go back and add some more embellishments around your page, or you can make another page with what's left over. So far I like this. I feel like I have a cluster here. I feel like I have a cluster here. I kind of like the tree here. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I just wanted to make sure there was more wood veneer before, since I haven't done the other pages. They do use the 2 arrows, but they don't use both the geotags. So I'm going to use one of the geotags. Because I have wood here and I have wood here, so I thought about putting this tree here and the wood veneer, or well, for heaven's sake, sorry about that. I want a wood veneer here to go along with it. So I am going to put this tree down because this will bring the trees from the right-hand page over. Plus it goes with the whole layout anyways. And then I'm going to glue down this geotag. This geotag has a little center, which normally I would take that out, but I'm going to leave that in. And this time I'm going to use a glue dot because that will help hold it down just a little bit better. And I'm going to put it kind of by the bottom of the tree there so you can't really see that. And then I'm going to take some star stickers. They have a couple of star stickers. Sorry, I've moved that out. They only have 2 here. I don't see any more. I'm not going to use the triangles, I don't think. I can save those for another page. Although they do represent the mountains kind of neatly. You could add like a couple mountains here if you wanted on your own. But I'm not sure. I don't feel crazy about that. I feel like this is enough of a space filler here as it is. So, and I have this and that, and then by the time my journaling's in here, this will be enough. It's more on the simple side, but I really like it. So yeah, so what I think I'm going to do then was, what was I going to do? Oh, the stars. So they do have star stickers, and since they have them above the 1 trees, I am going to just kind of sprinkle them around. And in the end, if I feel like it needs something a little more, I might come back with, I want to make sure I have enough of these. I might come back with, I might come back and add in a few more things if I feel like they need it in the end, but I don't think I really, at this point, will need to. I am not going to show you the layout with my journaling. I hope that's okay. Not any reason, just because if I type it up, it's going to take a while, and I just want to get this page done so I can get these videos up this weekend. So I'm going to put one here and I'm going to put one there. This one is a chipboard one. It's not a sticker one. So just get a glue dot and stick that there. And that is the first page. So as a little bit of a recap, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to leave that on there just for a few more minutes. Just as a little bit of a recap, we took this layout that has 4x4 photos, and instead we added 5 photos, and 3 of them we made 4x6. I could have cut this paper down, and I probably should have, but I have more paper. I'm not going to worry about it, and mounted it onto something else. But so I just left that as it is. The mountains were already on the layout, which I really liked. We followed this fairly closely. The only difference is we added the really tiny gray strips that go along with the gray that is around the photos, which was also around the photos here. We didn't use their title Explore just because this, I don't feel like we're really exploring anything. It would have worked fine. I just kind of wanted to change that title up a little bit. Yeah, we took the tree cluster that was down here on the bottom and we moved it up and kind of played around with the stars a little differently than they had. And we also added a third cluster here since we didn't have the large title Explore. We added a third cluster here which brought the wood veneer there. So I basically have a trio of wood veneer on the page, and it doesn't make a perfect triangle. I don't care. It looks good. It still brings your eye around the page. The only thing we didn't really have any more of was this kind of wood grainy type sticker. I think they're all animals though, and I'm not adding any more animals on there. I think I like it just the way that it is. So this title was not from Close to My Heart. These were just wood veneer thickers, but a lot of us have alphabet stickers anyway, so I'm not worried about that. Another thing you could do is bring maybe more of this kind of striped pattern paper, checkered, maybe even line the bottom. That would give you a trio of it being in 3 places, but I don't think you need it. And see, the burlap's only in 2 places, but it still looks really cool, really neat anyway. Yeah, so I really like the blue. I feel like the stars are represented over here as well as over here. And I didn't use any foam tape. I could have mounted the moose on foam tape or the tree, but I really like the way the wood veneer, it's thick wood veneer, so it gives a lot of dimension on its own. So their layout compared to my layout, I'm trying to fit them both in the screen, followed it pretty quickly. I don't know, since I've started and stopped the video, I don't really know how long it's taking me. I probably chit-chatted more than I even worked on it, but it went really quick and another great way. And there is another page scrapbooked. So now we are on to layout number 2.